the composer of your life is so much more than about what your life looks like and the things that you have, right? So you could have all the money and the relationship that looks perfect and the life that looks perfect. And yet, how do you actually feel inside? Like, honestly, how do you actually feel? Because we are sneaky little beasts and we will convince ourselves of many, many things, and we will be bypassing the very real truths that are living in our body because our mind is so strong and so adept at working in cahoots with the nervous system to make you think that you feel good. And yet you have all this dis-ease spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally inside your being that you may not even be conscious to. Hello, and welcome to Yaroke Academy of Healing, Expanding, Spiritually Transforming, and Mastering Energetics, or you may be listening on the podcast, The Yaroke Way. This is my cat, Aslan, for those who are watching the video. He loves to be a part of it, all the healing things. I am Yaroke, leadership mentor, nervous system genius, clinically trained therapist, spiritual teacher, and all-around energetic sorceress. And I am here to help you be the composer of your life so that you create the most beautiful symphony within it. And I'm going to push you to your edges and extract all, literally all, of the darkest, rawest, most vulnerable parts of you, the ones you don't want to look at, because you know what those ones do? They keep you stuck, they keep you in avoidance, they keep you bypassing, and they keep you telling yourself a certain story that may not actually be true and maybe disconnecting you from how you actually feel. And I had this happen this morning. So, I'm going through things and I could I felt some blockage emotionally. And I was like, I don't know what's actually happening. I'm not sure what I'm actually feeling. And then a friend sent me a text message, and what she was doing triggered in me an emotional reaction around something. And I started crying and I was like, oh. And when she sent me the text message, I actually felt a little resentment towards her, which is always the sign to get curious. What's actually happening for me? What is this triggering within me? Right. And so I got curious and I was like, huh, what's happening there? I started crying. I recognized what was actually happening for me. I then felt free. I felt expansive. I felt joyful. My heart expanded. And so often we bypass these seemingly inconsequential moments in life, and then we just continue to pile our defenses on top of it because we quote unquote should be fine, right? And when we're looking at becoming the composers of our lives, oftentimes people are like, well, I want to manifest the money, or I want to manifest the partner, or I want to have all the things. And then the people who have all the things, talking to you right now, you high level leaders, you think everything should be fine because you have all the things. Or maybe you started to awaken, right? And you're doing some divine feminine embodiment work and you're getting in touch with ritual and goddesses and your witchy side and accepting the dark parts of you. And that all seems like fun and games until you actually have a dark night of the soul. And I mean like a real dark night of the soul where you're like, oh my goodness, nothing makes sense anymore. And this is all like, how do I actually become who I want to be without disrupting my entire life too much? Or maybe you have to burn your life to the ground, and burning your life to the ground is quite the journey so that you can birth into a new life. Maybe you've outgrown your identity, and it could be an identity that you thought was authentic because you had some awakenings and you started to become a new person. Are you able to evolve into each new identity without contracting, without justifying, without avoiding shame, without apology? This is what it means to become the composer of your life. It's about how you feel internally. I want you to feel lit up and effervescent through every cell of your being, not contracted. Not even like if you're doing the thing you quote unquote should be doing, but it feels kind of performative. Like I want you to be immersed in it so completely that you forget what your hair looks like. You forget what it looks like. You don't even care because you're so immersed in what you're doing. There's no apology for it. There's no, oh, I might look like a mess. It's like you're so in it that you just don't care. That's what it means to be the true composer of your life. And so often we focus on embodying this perfect looking identity or this perfect looking life, even if we're saying we're not. We're still curating it to look a certain way. We're still numbing and contracting just a little bit, right? Not fully allowing ourselves to expand into who we actually are meant to be and to like feel ourselves just breathe new life, right? Breathe expansion, abundance, joy, beauty, connection. And so you might be thinking, well, Yarrow, how do I do this? Or I'm totally fine in my perfectly little curated world. Or, I feel really good. I've like opened up some parts of me. I'm diving into my dark side a little bit. Sure. And all of that is maybe true. And I want to validate you've done so much beautiful work. But unless you're actually getting truly deeply honest with what's happening for you in every moment, and you're able to be with each emotion without holding on, without repressing, without denying, without contracting, if you're constantly subtly avoiding some really deep truths inside your body, or you're hiding parts of you to maintain certain relationships, and you're not feeling good in the relationships, then there's work to be done here. And so you want to heal your attachment wound, which is intimately connected to your nervous system. Your nervous system is a system and it knows safety through a certain way of being. And so you may break out of that box a bit, but are you really actually allowing yourself to embody the fullness of who you are? Or are you still contracting or hiding a little bit? And so, how do you heal your nervous system? Well, daily somatic practices are key. Meditating, chanting, yoga, singing, humming, dancing, those are key. You also need attachment wound healing, which means you need attunement and co-regulation, but from someone who's going to hold you, see you, validate you, and call you out on the sneaky, subtle ways that you're contracting, that you're hiding, that your web of defenses are running the show, rather than you being able to embody a new identity from a truly authentic and connected place. I want you to have a nervous system that feels like it's dripping in gold. And you can't have that when you're contracting, when you're running through scarcity. And scarcity isn't just about money or wealth. Scarcity could be about, your relationships, or not believing that if you let go of a thing that something new is going to come in. It could be about feeling like you have to hold on to things because if you let them go, you feel terrified in the unknown of what will happen on the other side. Scarcity could be an inability to be in the unknown. Nothing is more freeing than when you can actually be in the unknown and hold your personal power while you're in it and trust what's going to happen on the other side of it. Like that is literally one of the most powerful places to be, when you have a nervous system that feels like you can hold the unknown. I'm just taking a breath and landing in that because it is so beautiful to witness people waking up to that way of being. It's so beautiful when I see people being able to bring their unconscious into consciousness. Like these micro moments in your day when you're a little irritable, or you're a little snippy, or you're a little emotional, or you're a little angry, when you can actually understand what's underneath that, the truth of what's underneath that, the levels of internal freedom that you feel is unlike anything you've ever known. Because most of the time we'll do something like we'll go for a walk, or we'll, exercise, or we'll have something to eat, right? Maybe we're a little, our blood sugar is a little low, we need some food. And all of that's great. But so often we don't stop and really get curious about what is actually happening for me. What am I actually feeling right now in this moment? Because a lot of times we bypass it and make it inconsequential, like, oh, it's just this little thing, it's nothing. Sometimes that little thing is something deep inside, right? Like, I actually was in a session yesterday with one of my mentors, and I was like, I'm okay. And we started to unpack some things, and I uncovered a web of layering of like threads through this relational dynamic that traces back through every relationship I've ever had. And as I started to unlock these pieces, I accessed new levels of freedom and power. And that's what it's all about. And most people don't know how to get to that web, right? To understand the mirror that the external world is for you. And so you're wanting to create your life, or you're wanting to compose your life, but you aren't actually able to see all of the different myriad of ways that you are the one who's perpetuating certain situations, or certain ways of being, or certain avoidances or bypasses that are keeping you stuck and unable to actually feel internally free. and present, like deeply present and able to go to the deepest, darkest depths of your soul and into the brightest expansiveness of your spirit, and then to ground you back home into this present moment. Like, so many people are like, oh, I touched into the dark, or I went a little bit into my brightest expansiveness of my spirit, but very few people like really fucking go there, like, and or really go there, right? And I go like this because this is the underworld, right? You're in the underworld, you're like, it's like darkness, right? And it's like so much, and you're like, all that pain I've repressed all those years, I gotta look at that shit now. And then when you go up here, it's like all bright and shiny and sparkly. We're not meant to stay in either place. We're meant to come back home to this present moment with Aslan and the flowers, and to be right here and to feel internally free. And that truly is the greatest gift in the world. I cannot emphasize that to you enough. And most people don't even know what it feels like. Most people don't even know what it feels like. I did a live on Instagram the other day, and I talked about how I have a 7-figure healing business, but my biggest flex is the internal freedom I feel to just be me and to be with all things without running to rituals or plant medicine journeys or archetypes or goddesses. Like, all of that's beautiful, or tarot cards, or Akashic records readings. Like, I love all of that, but it can be an escape away from you and creating your own myth of your life, creating the lore of you. And I love to dive into the lore of Yarrow. And I want everyone I know and everyone I work with to feel safe to create your most beautiful love story in your life. And when I say beautiful love story, I mean the love story of you, all facets, your career, your relationships, your romance, your travel, your beingness. Like, what are you creating and composing in this lifetime? Are you creating the most beautiful symphony in your life? Or are you numbing yourself out and contracting and shutting down? And you have to have the courage to create a nervous system that feels like it's dripping in gold, to look at where you're choosing your attachment relationships or attachment to society and unhelpful beliefs that are conditioned into you from society. You're literally conditioned to believe in your own unworthiness. Like, I just want you to sit with that for a minute, because the reality is you are meant to worship at the altar of you. And I have another video about that, so go watch it because it's super good. And when you do not feel safe to worship at the altar of you, to create your myth, your journey, you're meant to fall in love with your journey and to feel how you want to feel along the way, so that you're not like attaching to this goal of like, I have to have the thing. I have to have the thing as an escape against the present moment and what's actually happening, and how to actually create the most exciting, connected, expansive, abundant moment from right here, right now. And this is what we're going to do in my program, The Composer, which is an 8-week chrysalis to set you free. It starts on Thursday, October 23rd. This is the first round of it. This is the only time it will ever be this price. You have 2-hour calls with me and my co-coach Kelly. We have a Telegram channel 4 days a week where we will process with you. You get the Composer program, which has over 45 videos in it. Like, it's mind-blowing. Somatic practices, embodiment practices, meditations imbued with the codes to help you create the most beautiful symphony in your life. It will literally give you a system that rewires your nervous system so that you feel safe to just be, receive, expand, and create a life that feels how you want it to feel, and to be so deeply connected along the way. So if this calls to you, send me a message on Instagram, YarrowK on Instagram, or comment below, or send me an email or carry a pigeon. Try to get word to Aslan. We only have 2 spots left. I'm super excited for it. I want you to feel safe, to feel how you want to feel in your life, to feel lit up and juicy and expansive and free, and to create a nervous system that feels how you want it to feel. Like it's dripping with gold. It's one of my favorite visuals. And so take a minute and sit in your own body and breathe into your body. And just notice where there's contraction, where your mind pulls you out, where you're unable to actually just be with your own heart, spirit, soul, and breath in this moment, and to pour great golden radiant light into it. And then as you notice where you struggle to do that, let those defenses start to fall away and anchor into you.